One of my favorite movies of all time is Ron Howard's Apollo 13. I think every aspect of this movie meshes so well with the other, creating a brilliant, intense film depicting the factual event of the Apollo 13 rescue mission. And when I mean every aspect of this movie meshes so well with one another, I truly mean it. Ron Howard's directing, the excellent performances from Ed Harris, Gary Sinise, Tom Hanks, Bill Paxton, even Kevin Bacon has a great performance in this film. The art direction is beautiful in this movie, the cinematography is stunning to look at, but what captures me the most about Apollo 13 is its brilliant use of sound. The sound design of this movie is flawless. The sound of the movie enhances the story and moves it to a level that filmmakers dream about. And don't just take it from me, take it from Steven Seagal.
The Oscar is awarded to Rick Dior, Steve Peterson, Scott Millen, and David McMillan for Apollo 13.
Thank you, Academy.
The work done by Rick Dior, Steve Peterson, Scott Millen, and David McMillan triumphs in Apollo 13. From the initial disaster scene to the scene of the astronauts coming home, the sound design of the movie is emotionally charged and moves the viewer to also feel the despair of the astronauts or feel their triumph as they return to Earth. There are plenty of scenes that I can look at in this movie and make an entire video about, but today I just want to focus in on
Houston, we have a problem.
That's right, the initial disaster scene. Let's check it out.
Hey, we've got a problem here.
What did you do?
Nothing, I stirred the tanks.
Whoa. Hey.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we have a problem. We have a main bus B undervolt. We've got a lot of thruster
What's the
activity
story
here,
with the computer
Houston.
now?
It just went offline. Oh, there's another master alarm, Houston.
I'm checking the quad.
Christ, that was no repress valve.
Maybe it's in quad C.
We've got a computer
I'm
restart.
gonna reconfigure the RCS.
We've got a
Where
pings
these things
light.
fire doesn't make any sense.
We've got multiple caution and warning, Houston. We've got to reset and restart.
All right, I'm going to SDS.
Jesus. Flight, the heart rates are skyrocketing.
Econ, what's your data telling you?
O2, tank 2, not reading at all. Tank 1 is at 725 PSI and falling. Fuel cells 1 and 3 are, oh boy, what's going on here? Flight, let me get back to you. Flight GNC? Flight, they're all over the place. They keep yawing close to gimbal lock.
I keep losing radio signal. Flight, their antenna must be flipped.
22, they're gonna have to do it manually if they do
One at
it
a
all.
time, people. One at a time. One at a time. Ecom, is this an instrumentation problem, or are we looking at real power loss here?
It's reading a quadruple failure. That can't happen. It's got to be instrumentation.
Let's get that hatch button. The limb might have been hit by a meteor.
Yep.
The tunnel's really torquing with all this movement. Houston, we got a pretty large bang there associated with a master alarm. Shit, it's main bus A.
Main bus A undervolt?
Houston, we have a main bus A undervolt now, too. It's reading 25 and a half. Main bus B is reading zip right now. We got a wicked shimmy up here.
Ecom, GNC, these guys are talking about bangs and shimmies up there. Doesn't sound like instrumentation to me.
You are breaking up, 13.
Hey, get this hatch to seal.
Just stow it. We've been hit by a meteor. We'd be dead by now. We're gonna try to get us out of this lurch.
Houston, you're in the mud. Did you say switch to Omni Bravo?
Roger, 13.
Roger, and the signal strength on the
It's
high
fighting
gateway.
me. What's the
Wing down.
story here, Jack? We keep flirting with gimbal lock.
Odyssey, we need a confirmation. What systems do you have down?
Okay, Jim. SMRCS. Helium 1.
Even the little things about this scene are great. The clicking of the switches that Kevin Bacon's character flips, The mix into this nightmarish electrical buzz that feels like it's straight from the Evil Dead. The music cue that they use as the electricity catches with the pressure of the oxygen. And right into the constant beeping of emergency alarms, ringing throughout the cabin. And as the ship explodes, we hear it for a split second, but almost as soon as the explosion has happened, the sound gets lost into the void of space. Then we move straight into the NASA Command Center. The wall of chatter in the background is drowned out by the seriousness that the situation has just taken on. The most striking thing to me about this scene is the dynamics of the two settings that we, the viewers, are traveling in between. At the NASA Command Center, it is fairly quiet and the sound is reserved, but when we jump back into the space shuttle, the alarm is continuing to ring, and the chaos unfolding around the astronauts is brought straight into the audience's home. The score fades in, driving the stakes of what's happening up even further. The true beauty of the scene is just how it plays with the dynamics between the two settings, and the fear and anxiety that the audience gets to feel as we settle into the spacecraft and the commotion happening within. The marching of the score continues as we head back to the command center. The anxiety is now being felt by command workers, and the chaos has crawled its way into a scene that was once pretty mellow. The movie's editing is fast, and we quickly head back into the spaceship. Within, we now hear the creaking of aluminum crunching aboard the ship. The overlapping of dialogue begins to create even more chaos. Everything in this scene adds to the level of fear that the characters are all experiencing, and the intense chaos that is happening within the scene. I think my favorite thing about this film is the way that not only do the sound effects play a big part in this movie, but the musical score carries this emotional weight and perfectly reflects what the characters are feeling. We focused on it a bit during the disaster scene, but I just want to briefly show the scene of the astronauts returning to Earth and the beautiful elements that the score carries within.
Hello, Houston. This is Odyssey. It's good to see you again.
Odyssey, Houston. Welcome home. We're glad to see you.
I think Ron Howard's movies are so great because every single person in every single department works exceptionally well with one another. But the true shining gem of Apollo 13 is its excellent execution of sound design. I want to end this video and just allow the man himself to speak a bit on the subject. Here's Ron Howard on sound design.
Sound design is, it's another tool. It's another form of expression, and because we react to sounds on a kind of primal level, it works a little bit the way music works. A lot of composers will tell you that music works because it's actually emulating sounds of nature, but in a harmonic way, and a way that might be more beautiful or more melodic. But the sounds, whether it's percussion or wind instruments or synthesizers, are creating sounds that we relate to on this kind of primal level. Of course, we feel that way about all kinds of sounds, and whether it's a music cue or whether it's a moment of sound design, repeating sounds can tell you something, tell you to anticipate something, because that's what we do with sounds all the time.
Thanks for watching, and I hope that whenever you watch Apollo 13, you can find a new sense of appreciation for the work done by a crew of over 50 people, all working on the sound design of this movie. This movie would not have been the same with a weak sound team, and it truly shows what an epic undertaking it is to make a movie with people who all love what they do. Thanks for watching.